What's up, angels? It is your girl, Adina Howard, and you are watching and listening to the AM Caffeine Show.
Get your morning started the right way with the AM Caffeine Morning Show.
So, today, special guest. You know, sometimes
super special.
You have artists that come into the game and they kind of change the trajectory a little bit.
Come on, trajectory.
Vocabulary word of the day. Vocabulary word of the day.
Oh,
you know, I use my words.
Because words mean things.
I use my words. So an artist will come along and drop material that really can change the landscape.
Yep. That's an
And
understatement.
the artist that we have today, man, let me tell you, iconic song.
Yes.
Iconic song that became an anthem.
Yes.
And even in 2018, if that damn song comes on in the club, it's on and popping.
Right now.
Special guest today, singer, songwriter, actress, chef.
Okay.
She does it all.
And she's still fine.
Certified freak, according to like album sales, though. That's just album sales.
Certified.
That's album sales.
Because
Say
I'm
that.
a freak until that day.
Oh,
The one and only Adina Howard is in the building today. Adina Howard is in the building. How are you doing?
I'm blessed and marinated in divine favor.
You
Y'all
better
made
say
me feel
marinate.
You better
great.
marinate that.
Yes. Down to the marrow, baby.
You better marinate that.
Yes.
Oh wow, such an honor and pleasure to have you
Thank
today.
you.
You know, our paths have crossed a couple times.
Oh, really?
And I don't know if you remember this, but it may have been 3-4 years ago. I was managing the group Next, and we had a show together. I don't know, like Ontario, somewhere, and the promoter didn't have the money. You know, talk about janky promoter. Talk about janky promoter. And then we ended up having to do the after party in like a hotel.
Oh.
It was, she was I wish I could remember her name, because I put her on blast right now. But we did the show anyway. And Adina Howard was there and was very gracious with all the fans that were there. And no one really knew how janky the promoter was.
You know what? Because honestly, when it's all said and done, they don't care about that. They just care about the artist showing up and doing what they're expecting them to do.
Exactly.
If they pay for a ticket to show up and watch us perform, they could care less about the promoter not doing what they're supposed to do.
That is super true, because I'll be sitting there like, oh, and that's why she ain't even perform.
Right.
And I'm real quick, especially now that social media is available to us now.
Yes.
I'm real quick to get on social media and be like, hey, look.
Right. Listen.
Let me explain something to you right now. Not now, but right now.
Right.
Is this thing on?
Right.
Let me just tell y'all what happened.
I literally had to do that a few weeks ago. Whoa. I literally had to do that a few weeks ago because there was a middleman in the situation.
Right.
And he didn't have the money together, and it was just some foolishness. I said, let me help you.
Let me let you know what it is. Right.
Phone was just like this. So, just to let y'all know, show was canceled.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is not my fault.
Oh, yeah.
Not my fault.
Right. Exactly.
Like,
I'm real quick. Yeah. I'm
you
real
have
quick
to.
Because the thing is, what people fail to understand is it tarnishes the artist's brand.
Because at the end of the day, nobody knows about the promoter, any of that. They know about who they came to see.
Exactly. They were like, well, Adina Howard didn't show up.
Didn't show
say,
up.
well, the promoter didn't pay Adina Howard.
Right.
No,
exactly.
The promoter didn't pay Next.
We don't
the promoter
know that.
didn't. Right.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know that at all. And it makes us look bad because, of course, the promoter is going to be talking, a whole bunch of ish anyway.
Exactly.
Oh, they were difficult to deal with, and they were asking for too much, and they were doing da-da-da-da-da. You're like, oh, word?
Right.
Okay, so
you knew my rate before you put me on that
Hello,
flyer.
somebody. And you saw the writer prior to that, too.
Right?
Exactly. You ain't never lied about that. Adina
Where's
Howard.
my wangs and M&Ms?
Wow, 2018, Adina, from, as long as you've been doing this in such a, not yet, Smooth, not yet. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Because I was about to turn out, not yet, Smooth. It's too early. Did you know, and when the song came out, did you have any idea the impact that it was going to have?
No, I did not. I did not set out to make an impact. I did the song because it was about me, and I didn't think my life was that important to make an impact on anybody. It was just me living my life, doing what I do, and how I did it.
I'm just here. I'm fine. And
right,
what?
Right. And so when it made an impact, it was like, oh, what? And then honestly, the crazy part about the situation is it's in recent years for me, I'm recognizing the impact.
Right.
Because I don't pay attention. Because I didn't set out to make an impact, and I'm not seeking attention. I'm not here to be relevant. I'm just like, I did my job, and the song is about me, and okay, great. You know, so, and when I have women come to me and say, oh my gosh, you have no idea what you've done for me, and how I was just able to just break out of my shell, or, you know, you made it okay for me to say that I'm a freak and know how to, you know, express myself in the bedroom. I'm mind blown, like, oh wow, really?
Right. Well, Adina, you know? I would like to thank you personally, because the mid-90s, I benefited from that.
Did you really?
Yeah, Freaknik, Black College Jr. in Daytona Beach. Oh, thank you.
Freaknik was on point.
Everybody come in with, let me lay it on the who do you credit with discovering you, or how'd you get your voice out there? Who?
So let's just start with my mom forcing me to sing as a young girl.
Okay.
Like, I mean, she literally made me sing when I did not want to.
Was there a reason? Was she a singer?
Yes, my mother used to sing.
Okay, and this is, you grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, right?
And she sang in a band, a local band, and she just would make me sing, and I could not sing as a child, but she would always make me sing, and it was like, why is she doing this to me? And it just became such a part of my life, singing, that I just would do it on a regular basis at that point. And as I got older, people would hear me sing, and they would want me to connect with producers and songwriters and so on and so forth. And I ended up connecting with this gentleman by the name of Ray Hunter.
Okay.
And he and I were working together with his partner. And one day Ray just approached me. He said, you know, I don't believe I can take you where you would like to go in your career, because I know you want to go to the next level. And I don't think I can do that. But I think I found somebody that might be able to help you. And he introduced me to my first manager, Livio Harris.
What up, Livio?
I know.
St. Louis, stand up.
Yeah, I actually texted Livio today. He hit me back. It's on, Buster. Hit me back. What up, Liv?
I know, right? And Livio, I sang for Livio, and it went from there. Literally that moment, we just moved forward and working on demos when they worked on demos.
Right.
And did photo shoots, and he just really stuck by the situation. And oh man, me and Olivia went through so much stuff, being like homeless and sleeping at other people's apartments and on the floor. Oh my God, the journey was real.
At what point did you get the confidence to like take it to the level that you wanted to do this as a career? Because you said when you started, you weren't that good of a singer, right?
Right.
So when did you realize, like, you know, I've gotten better. I think I can really do this.
That's a good question. That is a really good question, because for a very long time I was insecure with my voice, because if I heard anybody else singing and I thought they sound better than me, I wouldn't sing anymore. I would not sing around them.
Right.
I would not sing. I'd be like, let her sing.
She got it. She won.
Right. Exactly. And it just got to a point, I think, later on in life where I just kind of grew into my voice and liked what I heard. And I was like, okay, and then realized that I wasn't in competition with anybody else.
Right.
Just if I am, I'm in competition
with yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was just one of those things. It just I grew into that.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mom.
Do you remember the first song you wrote?
Let me see. The first song that I wrote and that was recorded was, what was the name of that song? Love at First Sight. And I remember it being on vinyl, and I wish I could get it till this day. It was so crazy, because that was the first time I ever got into the studio and recorded a song that I wrote. And I would listen to it over and over again, and I don't know where the hell that vinyl is to this day.
That would be really dope if you could find that, right?
Oh my God, I would be so stoked if I could find that. But that was the very first song I ever recorded that I wrote. But I'm pretty sure I wrote a whole lot of other, songs prior to that. But
so as you were developing as a singer, were you always like, I want to write as well? Was that always part of the maturation, or did that come later on as well?
I always wrote poetry.
Okay.
From a little girl, poetry was something that I always enjoyed doing. So I was always writing. But I don't think I focused on writing music as much. It's not like it is today, where they're looking for singer-songwriters. And crazy enough, back when I got started, I wasn't encouraged to be a singer-songwriter. It was just hear the songs, sing them.
Right.
And I sang them. And, you know, and I didn't see anything wrong with that. I'm like, well, shit, they invested in me, so why not?
Right.
Okay, if that's what you want me to do, I'm going to show up and do. Because one of the things that my mother taught me when I was younger, because she sang, she said, Adina, I know this is what you want to do. This is a job. Show up when you're supposed to show up. Do what it is they're asking you to do. And show up on time.
Right.
You don't just show up all willy-nilly and, you know, but show up on time and do what it is you're asked to do because it's a job.
Right.
And so for me, I didn't question. I didn't know the business.
Right.
So it was like, okay, this is what you want. Too easy. I'm on it. Let's do it.
So, okay, so at what point, was your songs always so provocative? Or
No. No.
So what changed? And you said, you know what? I'm gonna just, you know what?
Yeah, I was gonna say what I really was gonna say what night was that you know that like
She said,
opened you all the way up? Hold up.
Opened
you
you
know-
all up.
Right.
Hold up.
Yes. She said, ooh.
Right.
Is that what
I
it was?
exhaled.
Right.
Yes, honey.
Oh.
But you know, it's so interesting to me. So growing up, I was raised in the church, Baptist and Pentecostal. Staying in the church, I had to go to church every Sunday. When my mama didn't go to church, the bus would pick me and my sisters up. So secular music was not played on Sunday. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
Secular music wasn't played on Sundays. But as I was able to listen to secular music, I would always gravitate to the sexual provocative
To the
music.
nasty stuff.
I would always gravitate to Prince. I would gravitate to Madonna. I gravitated to Marvin Gaye. The very first song I ever heard of Marvin Gaye was Sexual Healing. And when I first heard that song, I was like, I like that. and didn't have that nair piece of ass.
Right.
Back then in that day.
But wasn't it Millie Jackson or somebody that was real
Millie,
nasty?
Millie.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I got a hold of Millie's music, but somehow I got a hold of Millie's music and went, fuck you. I was like, I like her. She's cussing people out and giving them what?
Girl, and falsetto.
And didn't know nothing about sex.
Right.
There was always something about that thing that I could not listen to or was told not to do because that's not what good Christian girls do.
Right.
I was like, why not?
Right.
No, because
Wow.
PKs are the worst.
They usually always are. They are.
Most of them are.
They are.
Trust me. My sister used to mess with a PK.
My mother was a PK.
Oh, that's how you know. And look what happened.
Here you go. And so, you know, it was just something that, you know, I just gravitated to that. Even with Minnie Riperton had a song on her album. I can't remember which one it was, but it was very provocative. And so out of all the songs she had,
That's the one that
was the one I gravitated to. So I always gravitated to that music. So even though that was not what I was doing, it was something that I was drawn to.
Right.
And it was just, and maybe that was just the seed that was sown. It's like, okay, you don't know this, but that's
where you're going.
Yeah, that's the direction you're ending up in. And I loved it. I still love it.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. So
we have a consensus.
Okay.
With that particular song, how did you hear the beat first? Did you have the how did it happen?
So went to Baltimore, Maryland to work with some guys called Mass Order.
Okay.
And they ended up submitting, you know, some music, and I listened to it, and I was not impressed with any of it. And so Livio had went over and talked to a couple of the guys and said, "This is who she is. This is how she is." And and they came. Gene came over to me, and he did not like me. So Gene came.
Gene is one of the producers.
He was one of the producer songwriters.
Yeah.
And he came over to me, and he was like, "Here's this, you know, here are the lyrics. Here's the song." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." When I read the lyrics, I was like, "Yeah, I can work with this." And then he just, you know, kind of came, you know, went over the melody with me. I was like, "All right, got it." And we just went from there.
Wow.
That was, I mean, because when I tell you the first line of that song says, okay, now hold on, let me just say this.
Right.
There's something going on with me now. I don't know if you can deal with it now.
Right.
Now, honey, listen, I remember when I first heard it. Okay, first of all, I had the short haircut too at the time.
That's what's up.
And I was like, oh, I think that's me. I was like, okay.
She's singing it for me. She stepped up to the plate and made it happen.
Then in the video, you were in the Jeep, and you were doing everything that I wanted to do.
It was a Benz, a convertible Benz.
Oh, don't get it twisted. It was a Benzo, right? You want to put in a Suzuki Samurai or something.
I didn't say it was a Suzuki.
She said a Jeep. She said a Jeep, but I do like Jeeps though.
Right.
But You had the short haircut, the white shirt, and I was like, this is supposed to be me.
Right.
This is
supposed to be.
So
Supposed
what I'm
to
gonna
be.
do?
Supposed to
So
be.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start dressing like
Like
this.
that.
That's what's up.
Right.
Maybe somebody would be like, "Is you Adina?" No.
That
I'm her chocolate cousin.
Okay, that's okay.
People always say we look alike.
that first album to me felt very West Coast-ish. Like, was that on purpose? Did it feel like that to you? Were you happy? Like, how much say did you have creatively on that first album of, how the music turned out?
Well, I think you're saying it was West. It sounds very West Coast. Well, I lived on the West Coast. I graduated from high school in Arizona. I lived, a lot of my life here in California. And so I guess that was the intent.
Right.
I do know that the combination because back in the day we had artist development.
Yeah.
So,
what is that?
I know, right, exactly. Who? And Lord knows they need it now.
Right.
But they said, a female R. Kelly minus the bullshit, female R. Kelly / Black Madonna, and they and that's you got it.
They got you right.
And you were like, you know what? I could see that.
Right, because 12 Play was the joint at the time. You know what I'm saying? And Madonna was everything.
Absolutely.
I was there. I saw her concert with the lace gloves on. My mama took us and everything. Yes.
Me too.
So, okay. So it was one of those things that, they artist development. They said they came together and they said, is this, I like this. I can do this. That's too easy.
Right.
I had say so, but I didn't have say so. Mm-hmm. And for me, it wasn't really mandatory for me to have say so because I'm fresh in the game.
Right.
And if you're going to invest in me, and I really don't know which direction I want to go in
anyway,
the situation, right?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I really honestly did not expect any of this to happen. Mm-hmm. It was nothing but the grace of the divine that you're chosen. Okay, go to work? Absolutely. What do you need me to do? I'm here. I'm showing up. Let's make it happen.
Who actually signed you? Who was the executive that signed you?
Well, I ended up being signed to Mecadon Records via East West. It's now Elektra, but it was East West.
Right.
And the executive at East West was Sylvia Rome.
Sylvia Rome. Right,
yeah.
right.
And she chose to take me on.
Right. Who were your label mates? Who else was on East West at that time?
Oh my gosh. In Vogue,
right.
Missy, Metallica.
I mean, do you even need any more?
Right.
Yeah, it was
I remember, I couldn't, I knew that East West was big. I just couldn't remember everybody that was on it. So, what point are you like throughout the journey of that album, like, I have a hit? Like, was there one defining moment like you? No.
There wasn't one moment you were like,
you're like, yo, I got a banger.
I think I'm big now.
Really?
Never?
No, not yet. Hold on, not yet.
No.
You were a little anxious.
No, it just and what's interesting enough about that is it still hasn't hit me.
Really? Are you serious?
I BS you not. I know. No, seriously, I know that it's a big song, but it's like, okay.
Wait, okay. Do you have children?
No.
Okay, listen. How does it feel when you hear people mention your name in rap lyrics today?
I think it's cool.
Right.
I think it's so crazy because I never got in the business to be famous. Mm-hmm. I didn't get into this business to be relevant. I didn't get in the business to seek attention. I just got in the business because that's all I knew to do was to sing because my mother made me sing. And so it was like, okay, this is what you do. Mm-hmm. So, and it's interesting that you asked that question because my mother had asked me one day, after, the song had been on the charts and whatnot, she said, has it hit you yet? I said, has what hit me yet? Has it hit you yet? What? And she looked at me and she got irritated. Has it hit you yet? I was like, no, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel.
Right.
Because in my mind, you told me this is a job. You know what I'm saying? I clocked in and
I'm just going to work.
Right.
Yeah.
I just worked overtime. I'm still here. Right.
Wow.
And literally. And I still feel that way. I'm just going to work. And so, no, it hasn't. I'm humbled and I'm grateful for the success. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what that means because when it's all said and done, I still have to work to keep the lights on.
You ain't never lied.
You know what I'm saying? I still have to do things to make it happen. And I eat, sleep, shit, and breathe like everybody else. So just because I have a hit doesn't mean I'm exempt from life.
Right.
So when people say that, I'm like, what's that supposed to mean? I could go outside and get hit by a car, or
just like anybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
I all of a sudden just sprout wings, and you know what I'm saying? And now all of a sudden I'm above everybody else. I just got to hit single. And if I don't come up with another one, I'm going to be back down with everybody else.
Right. So
we all thought that you were above everybody else.
Well, thank you.
I know
I will take it.
I know you were being sought after by all the people in the industry. I know the people in the industry was like, so what's up, Dana? What the deal?
If DMs were around then, her DMs would be popping.
Thank God
if DMs was around, Lord. Now, yes,
right.
People were beeping your beeper. People were like, you got her pager number?
Yeah, you had a pager. What was your code?
Right.
What was your code?
Yeah, my code was either 19 or 22.
Why those numbers?
22 is a master number.
Okay.
In astrology or numerology, I should say. And 19 at the time, I was 19 was just the number.
Just the number.
Yeah.
Scorpio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, wait a minute. What's the birthday?
Oh, yeah,
November 14th.
Scorpio too.
Yeah.
14th, November.
Oh.
I'm the 18th.
That's what's up.
All
I'm
you
a
guys are
October.
Robert Horrys, huh?
What the hell is that?
Robert Horde. Well, really? You're going to put us... You
calling us
calling us
whores?
whores?
You calling us whores?
I don't know why
I'm just
Scorpios get that. I don't know why
you guys
Scorpios
are
get that.
whore-reed.
I don't know why we get that.
Horrid.
Well, I will tell you this. I was a harlot. I was a harlot pre Adina Howard.
Right.
Post Adina Howard, I had to shut it down.
You have to shut it down.
Shut it all the way down. Because
You didn't have all of them coming at you like, yo.
I had people coming at me, but then I was like, this ain't gonna be a secret no more. I can't just go out and do my thing because now people are paying attention.
Got it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once that happened, I was like, man, I done messed up my game.
Right.
I was like, damn, really? And because then people thought they could choose me. I was like, that's not how it
There
works.
goes. Right. Right.
No, that's not how it works. You don't look at me and say, I want you. I don't want you.
Right. Right.
And women, we do the choosing.
Yeah.
And so, did you date anybody in the industry?
I did. I dated a couple individuals, and I did more doing than dating.
Hey, who you did then?
None of your business.
I figured that. I try to slide it in. I try to low key catch her. I try to catch her slipping.
Yeah. And I was gonna be like,
Like,
if I guess it when you say it, I was about to go down all the list.
But you know, it wasn't that. It was like a couple individuals. But for the most part, it was just like I said. It just shut everything down because people talk. They talk. They talk, and especially in the industry.
Oh,
Don't
God.
let it. And then the circle is small because when it's all said and done, you start to want to deal with people that are in the same business as you are because they understand you.
Right.
And you know they're not wanting anything from you because they have their own. You start messing outside of the industry, you got to look at people like, okay, why you want to deal with me?
Right. Right.
And the thing is that you are a trophy.
Yeah,
you still are a trophy.
Thank you.
And so they like, I fuck with Adina now, right?
Right, because at one point wasn't there like they were trying to say you and Tupac maybe
Yes.
maybe a little something.
I normally don't like to talk about Pac.
Okay.
I usually shut that down because
because of the friendship,
right?
The respect of it. Understood.
Exactly.
Right,
Understood.
but because you at the AM Caffeine Show, you like, you know what? Let me go.
Since it's been mentioned,
Okay.
But Pac and I were literally strictly platonic.
Right.
Pac.
Damn.
It was so funny because he had done some things. And I was looking at him like, dude, I'm not. And I had to tell him, I said, I'm not about to be another notch on your belt. Like, that's not about to happen. I'm not doing that. And I remember saying to him one day, walk me downstairs because he and I had connected one day, and we were in his room, his hotel room, and I said, "Okay, I'm about to leave. Walk me downstairs." He looked at me. He was like, "Not unless you give me a kiss." I was
you're like, okay, I'll take the elevator, dude. I'm cool.
I looked at him.
That's what you would have did. That's what you would have did. And we're Robert Horrys, huh?
I know, right?
I mean, but it's Pac.
Yeah, and I was looking at him like, like, no. Oh man! I looked at him. I said, "Are you serious?" He said,
Kinda.
He said, "Yeah." No, I was like, he was like, "I don't want girls downstairs." He's like, "I don't want." He was like, "Give me a kiss," and no. nah. I was like, are you serious? He's like, I'm serious. I said, oh, okay. Kissed him on the cheek and kept it moving.
Right.
Like, I was like, I ain't got nothing for you.
Right,
Like,
right.
I would have had
Like,
so
he
much for
literally.
him.
Like,
I would have had so
Tell
much
us
for him.
how you really feel, Marlo.
I
Tell
would
us
have
how you
been
really
like, you know, they say I look like Adina. Let me lay it on the line.
Security. Wow, hold up, slow down, Jack. AM Caffeine Show. Adina Howard is with us.
she
All
is
right.
so foolish.
So, Smooth, since you want to release, you want to let the song go.
He does.
We got it. We got to do it.
Let's go into a quick mix. Adina Howard is rocking with us. The AM Caffeine Show. Smooth D in the mix. Don't go nowhere. Adina's here. Let's go, Smooth D. AM Caffeine Show.
Oh, yeah.
Smooth D in the ones and twos. Adina Howard in the building. We're rocking with us.
Can I just say real quick, Smooth did that scratch real smooth though.
Did he?
Was just like that was just he looked so bored doing it, but it just sounds so good. He was like
Chicka,
the look on his face was like, let me just go ahead and do this because this is what I do.
Adina Howard with us. So we were talking about just the success of first
you know
album.
what? Let me just say this. It's so weird to hear my people say my whole name. Because people always say
As opposed to just
saying
Adina.
Adina,
just Adina. I hear Adina Howard. I'm like, what?
it's a
Like,
complete. It completes it.
Yeah, you need Adina Howard.
Like
you need
it
the whole
wouldn't sound right if you just said Adina.
Adina.
No, it feels disrespectful. It kind of feels disrespectful.
right. Disrespectful.
I need Adina Howard.
Right.
I need
Right.
Adina Howard. Yeah.
You need, so you need to, okay.
I need that.
Everybody says your full name.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Even in the songs, they be like, I want you to know which Adina I'm talking about. Listen.
So after the success of the first album, obviously you start to learn more about the business and record company and all that stuff. What happens on the second album?
You get a little more control, and you might get a little more, cocky and more attitude.
Right. Did that happen?
Yeah.
It did.
Exactly.
Got some ego that's jumping off, It's interesting because they allow you a little more room to just kind of do your thing. They're like, okay, we set you up. Now we'll allow you to just, kind of do your thing to see how you can make it happen.
Right.
Did you do any producing or anything, or did you just kind of stay in your lane?
I stayed in my lane.
Okay.
Because again, that wasn't, I wouldn't have minded the producing and writing if someone would have, took me under their wing and mentored me in that, but that wasn't the case.
Right. So how did it feel when the second album doesn't do
The second album never came out.
Never came out. That's
It
what
never
so
came
there
out
it
at
is.
all?
No,
It was on witness protection
T-shirt in my
programs.
pants.
Never came out. You'll never see it. Wow.
Oh, wait, what? I thought
So-
T-shirt in my panties was on.
T-shirt and panties was on the second album, but the second album never came out. So, but what they did was they licensed it to the movie Woo.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So you were on a lot of soundtracks, right? At least
Yeah.
the 3 or 4,
Yeah.
So was that a blow to your ego when the second album doesn't come out, or were you still fine with having songs that were on soundtracks and you were still able to work?
I was still able to work. I don't think it really affected me until I was working on some other things, and I couldn't really move forward because I insert foot and mouth
Right.
at some point
Yeah.
in my career, and Miss Roan just shut it all down.
Hey, and I done heard that's how she gets down.
She
If
shut
you
it
get on
all
her
down.
wrong side, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
She
I've heard that.
flexes.
Yeah.
And so insert foot and mouth, and she was like, "All right, bitch."
I'll holler at you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Right.
And-
And that shut a lot down.
That was my next
Yeah.
question. Not just with that label, but
just
with
in
other
general.
relationships.
Yeah.
So did you just stop making music, or are you
No,
still making music?
I kept making music, but I did walk away from the industry.
Right.
I walked away from the industry. a few
Were you
times.
bitter when you walked away from the industry a little
No,
bit, or
I think what it was, I was tired because I was dealing with people taking money and not really knowing the business and being taken advantage of. It was overwhelming. It's just a lot going on, and I was just, I don't know that I want to do this anymore.
right?
And I just walked away. I was like, I
just one day you're like, I'm cool. I'm out of here.
One day just stop answering calls.
Yeah.
Just like
I disappeared.
Dina.
Right.
You're like, Adina ain't here.
Nobody talk to Dina.
Right.
Nobody ain't talk to Dina.
Right. And it's crazy because at some point, T-shirt and panties, because it was on the Wu soundtrack, it blew up. And at that point, I had walked away. And I got a phone call from the Walt Reader booking agency. And they were like, people are looking for you because they have, T-shirt and panties has blown up and they want you to do shows and nobody can find you. And I'm thinking, well, how the hell did you find me? Like, how am I getting a phone call?
Right.
And how did you find me? Because I was not trying to be found. Like,
and we're at that point. Were you in LA? Did you?
I was in Las Vegas.
You were in Vegas.
I was living in Vegas and I had custody of my 6-year-old nephew.
Okay.
So I was being mommy.
Right.
At the time.
You're an awesome person.
Marlo, stop it.
Please.
Sorry.
So
his mic isn't on. Turn his mic on.
So you walk away from the industry, and you're in Vegas. So what are you doing as far as how are you making? How are you? So you just off your old Adina money?
It is nothing. But I cannot tell you to be
because you didn't hit the slots. Did you didn't hit no numbers?
I'm not a gambler. It was nothing but the grace of the divine that bills were being paid. I BS you not because I was not on the road. So bills were being paid. My nephew, I put him in a Montessori school and made sure he had health insurance and bills were paid.
And you don't know?
I do not recall how the bills were being paid because I was not on the road.
Wow.
She was like, I had just magic money.
You know,
just
that was
money
fake.
was magically in
Hey,
my
can you
account.
teach me how to do that? I
do
need some of that magic money.
Exactly. That was favor.
Or she was selling drugs and didn't tell nobody.
Right, that's what it was. I think that's what it was.
So how long? So what brought you back? Was it that phone? Did that phone call like, hey, folks are looking for you? Did that kind of help bring you back a little bit?
It got me back on the road.
Okay.
It definitely got me back on the road.
You were like, somebody won't give me some money? Okay.
Yeah, I had to work for it though.
Yeah.
They didn't want to just give it to me. It was like, you had to work for it. Do your second job.
Right.
Make it happen.
Right. Your second job.
Right. So I got back on the road and just really that was the focus at that point. It wasn't really working on putting another project out. And just did that and at some point tried to get back into it and it didn't work and I got frustrated and walked away again.
Right.
And then got back into it. And then, because everybody loves to say, oh my gosh, you're Adina Howard, you should be doing no more music and you should be doing this, that, and the third. But nobody knows how to get me back into it. So with them encouraging me, I would get back into it only to be at a place of a standstill. Situation would stall.
Right.
Because they didn't have the wherewithal, the relationships that
to get you that next step.
Exactly.
Right.
So at one point in time, I just in 2010, I just decided to walk away and go to school and get my associate's degree in culinary arts.
Come on now.
And I didn't plan on coming back into the industry.
You just I'm just going to be a chef.
Yeah, I was done. So I thought.
Yeah.
Everybody got to eat.
Right. And I was a line cook for 2 years. I worked for a resort in Arizona, the Sheridan Wild Horse Pass Resort at the restaurant in Costa. I was in the heart of the house, and I was on the saute station, making that pasta, doing my thing.
So did they know as Adina Howard?
Right.
You know what? Some of my coworkers knew, but it wasn't a conversation to be had. I'm like, we're not here to do an interview.
Everybody's like, we here to work.
Right.
Yeah, she kind of looked like her, but I don't know.
They knew. There's some people that knew, but one of the things that when I did start working on the line, I did have to let them know, because I am who I am, understand something. I'm going to take that money versus this money. Mm-hmm. So you're not a priority.
Right.
Let's understand something. I will come and show up to work when I need to, but I will give you ample notice and let you know it's a wrap.
Right.
What they're going to pay me is not what you're going to pay me.
Right.
So let's understand this dynamic here.
He's like, we good? We good? Okay.
And they were good. And they were good. And they worked with me on that.
Right.
But I honestly did not have the thought of really just coming back and doing music. Right. But every time I walked away,
something kept pulling you back.
I kept being pulled back into it. And it wasn't really until I had the epiphany that, okay, your platform serves a purpose. And the Creator put me in this position because I'm a messenger. I'm here on this earth, and I have a mission. And so there are things that I have to do. Otherwise, I'm not being obedient.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, Divine, I got you. I'm going to use my voice. I'm going to use my platform and do what it is you've called me to do. And so that's why I'm back. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this.
Man,
I really wouldn't.
Let me tell you something. You need to go ahead and write a cookbook or something, because I don't understand why you are still fine as hell. I mean, it's got to be what you're eating.
Or what you cooking, huh?
Or what you cooking? So, I mean, y'all, okay, y'all don't understand that she looks. I want to say she looks the same, like she's the same damn age she was when
she came out at 19.
Like,
and you know what? And good beige don't age.
Right. Hey.
Good beige. See that? You see what happens here? What are you smiling about, Smooth D?
But I would teach you how to cook.
Could you please?
Absolutely.
Because I know Marlo can't cook.
You don't know what I can do?
You can't cook.
I got like a good.
She can boil a hot dog.
Super defensive.
If you knew how to cook, if you knew how to cook, you would look like Adina.
You know what? I didn't know how to cook. It ain't the good food cook.
Adina, what's your specialty? What's your go-to dish?
You know what? I love to cook and I love to play with my food, so there's not a go-to dish. The only time I have a go-to dish is if somebody asks me. And more often than not, it's my shrimp and grits or my sticky wings.
Oh.
Come on, shrimp and grits. Dina's shrimp and grits. It's Adina's.
Was that the commercial?
Yes.
Hey, I actually like that one, though.
You like
You
that?
like that one?
I like that one.
Smooth. No, don't pump her up.
That was amazing.
Do not pump her
That
up.
was amazing.
That sucked.
Yes, that was amazing.
I can't.
Right, me either. Oh, yes, Young Free.
Oh, gosh.
Adina, a lot of music from the 90s is being sampled now in the 2000s. How would you feel if somebody came out and sampled Freak Like Me today? Would you be happy to it? Would you be like, nah, I'm cool? Would you be like, I'm with it, but I need to be on it? How would you feel?
I don't care.
Right.
I feel
Honestly,
like
I don't care, only because
Did you get any publishing from that?
I didn't write the song.
So she don't give a hot damn. Y'all go ahead and do what you do.
Produce the song,
right?
And for me, I'm so past that.
Right, right.
You know, if they want to do that, that's great, because one of the things that it does is it helps keep the checks coming in.
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
I'm about to say, keeps me on the road.
I know that Cardi B is gonna do it, and she's gonna have you in the video
love
like,
her.
hey,
if you
because
had
I'm gonna
to
be
pick-
a freak until the day. That's how Cardi's gonna
If you had to
do it.
pick somebody to do a sample of Freak Like Me, give me about 3 or 4 females that you would want to do your remix to.
Singers, rappers,
Both.
Anything.
Cardi B would be one.
Absolutely.
Cardi B definitely would be one. Who else? Yeah, Nicki. I wouldn't mind Nicki Minaj.
They beefing right now. Nicki and Cardi B going at it, right? Yeah,
They beefing again.
I got it, though.
That
I
beef.
got it.
It's egos.
Adina Howard is going to be the one to squash it.
Over the remix.
Bring them
Over the
together.
And
remix.
it'll be all three of them.
All
on the
three of them.
song.
Wow.
Super Freaky remix.
It's super freaky.
You heard it here first.
Super
AM
freak,
Caffeine Show
Super
exclusive.
freak. It's super freaky.
No,
her mic.
Yeah, all the way down.
Security.
It's like she is like really committed. That's the
No,
part that I love.
No,
I love.
She needs to be committed.
That's the part I hate.
This is amazing.
So, Adina, you have this.
And
You
Beyonce.
have
I would like for Beyonce.
Yay, absolutely.
I would like
Love
for
Beyonce.
Freaky.
Love Beyonce.
No Marlo on it, though.
Marlo
no
would be the
Marlo.
background dancer.
That's a straight to YouTube video.
No, it'll be amazing.
So we have this brand new album. When did this album come out?
Resurrection
came out this year.
2018, yes.
And independently, you just put it out yourself
on my label, Indelible Enterprises.
Okay. Yeah. How do you like the independent space? Is that cool for you?
I like it, but it's a lot of work. But understand, I'm a 90s artist, so I've been spoiled.
You used to them budgets. You used to them budgets.
Yeah, I had like $1 million budget.
Right. So,
they spent a crap load of money on me.
Yeah.
And to go from the machine with the relationships and the connections to, okay, now you're independent.
Yeah.
Don't have that purse.
Right.
And those relationships and that machine.
You got to be hella creative.
That has that global reach.
Right.
Because even if you have social media with a global reach, you really have to know how to work it. And people from the 90s, we're not fans of social media.
They're still using payphones.
If you don't go to sleep, ain't no play phones no more.
Yes, there are.
Yes,
there are.
There's a couple payphones.
Where?
There's a couple
I saw
payphones.
one not too long ago, right? But I saw one not too long ago at an airport.
Yeah.
How much they cost now? $1.50?
50
Right.
cents.
Yep, they are. The
No,
50
you got to use your credit card now.
Right.
Yeah, the 50 cents, or you do have to use it like you use a card.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow.
That is nuts.
So it came out this year. So Smooth D, I want to play a couple songs from that. Can we do that?
All right, let's do it.
So did you do a lot of writing on this? Did you write?
Yes.
Pretty much everything?
Yes.
Okay, there it is. And who produced on? Who did you collab with?
Oh my gosh, he's such an amazing talent. Young gentleman, young king out of Las Vegas named King Gas.
Okay.
King Gas.
King
I thought you
Gas.
were about to say, oh my God, Young Jock. I was like, wait. Wait. Hold on.
Oh my
What?
gosh.
Yeah, King Gas. He. Oh my God, he's such an amazing talent and such a sweet spirit.
So pretty much you guys just collabed this whole album
this whole
together.
album, we did it together.
Did it together.
And yeah, and we're working on another project now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Smooth D, what are we going to play from this AM
hope
Caffeine Show?
it's nasty.
I think it's only
Okay.
right that we get into the joint called Nasty.
Oh!
If somebody don't listen.
This is Adina Howard off of her brand new project, Resurrection. This is what? Nasty?
Nasty.
Oh, wait!
Lights on, she know what to do when the lights go off. She's in cute to my crib, give you what you need.
Hey.
AM Caffeine Show. Hey, I like that nasty.
Hey.
Oh,
I
wait!
told you.
That's
I was
nasty.
hoping it was going to be nasty.
That's nasty.
That's nasty.
God, you're so embarrassing.
You'll be all right.
All right,
She
so
is everything to me. She is. Y'all don't even understand. She is
You wanna
everything
take
to
her,
me right
you
now.
wanna
Yeah,
take her
please
with
take
you?
her
I
with
would,
you.
yeah,
yeah.
right.
I
Could you
will.
take her, please?
Put a bow on her and send her
Right.
with Adina.
Any videos to this project yet?
No,
Not yet.
Well, actually, let me take that back. There is a video called Blasphemy. The first single from the album is called Blasphemy, and we did do a video for that. It's music with a message, and it's about us being disrespectful, art, in the communities,
Right.
and not loving on each other and respecting each other and unifying and recognizing that we do have a common enemy, and it's not us.
Right.
Is that like on YouTube or something? Can we find? How can we find it?
You can find it on YouTube as well as any other video platforms that are out there.
Okay. Resurrection available now, all digital platforms.
Yeah.
I like that right there, Smooth D.
There you go.
I like that. I like that.
That's what you put on when you about to crawl up into the bed, like. What? Shut up, you stupid. That's what you do.
So Adina, what else is coming up besides this project? You're on the road. I know you're doing
Yes.
shows all the time.
Yes, I've been blessed to just confirm that I'm going to be Madison Square Garden September.
The big show.
Right.
Can you add us on your writer? Can y'all want to go? We're going with Adina.
We'll see you there.
I'm with Adina, dang it.
Right.
So that's at Madison Square Garden. That's
September 15th.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Nice.
Who's part of that?
I'm opening up for Tank and R. Kelly.
Oh. You're too old for him. No
That's
problem.
going to
You'll have
be
no
a
problem.
hoary show.
Oh wow,
That's gonna be great.
No, that's gonna be a
But wait a
good
minute,
show.
I thought they were
gonna be
beefing. That's another show.
So just FYI.
Exclusive.
Yeah, we need exclusive.
Man, they've been beefing.
R. Kelly didn't want Tank on the ticket.
Oh.
And Tank was like, baby, I deserve.
Ay.
But you know what? When it's all said and done, Tank adds so much value to that ticket.
Shout out to the homie Tank. Tank is a
I
cool
love
cat.
him.
And congratulations, 'cause Tank just got married
Yes, he
to
did.
Zena. So happy birthday.
Yeah.
I say happy birthday
Zena Foster.
to Zena. Congratulations, y'all
Yes.
too. All right, so Madison Square Garden, that's really big.
Yeah.
I'm sure your first time
My
performing
first time,
there.
yeah.
Wow.
So dope. Are you heavy on social media?
No, but I am
there
on
it
social
is.
mean.
You are.
Not
I am.
heavy.
So
Do you post?
I do.
You
I
do
post
yourself?
I
Marlo?
do. Yes, I post myself, and a lot
stalk.
of
You
what
know
I
I am.
post it's more. It's
Inspirational?
I don't just do random every day. You gotta
Right.
see me. It's for me. It's like I have to want to do it, and when I do it, it's gonna be something like
You
oh,
post
okay.
with a purpose.
Do you
Right.
post food?
Post with a purpose.
I do not post food.
We need to
You
see
would-
some.
you
Hey,
would
we need to
ask
see
that.
some of your
Post
plate.
food.
We need to see some of your dishes.
I know. You know what? I'm not married anymore, so I don't cook as much.
Oh, there it is. What happened to
See
him? We don't care. He's out of here. Okay, great.
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
We are no longer together, but we're roommates. So me and my ex-husband are roommates.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, We should have known that before.
Right. This would have been a whole different show.
Man.
So
that's a conversation to be had.
You're divorced, but you guys are roommates.
Yes.
So obviously you have a cool friendship.
Yes.
By any time, every now and again,
nothing
okay,
happens. Nothing happens. He's in his room. I'm in mine.
Right.
Amen.
And you don't meet. You never meet in the middle.
No, we do
Okay.
meet in the middle. We meet in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
We meet
So,
in the kitchen.
Wow.
So you obviously didn't want to be together anymore, but y'all don't mind each other's company.
No, we don't mind each other's company, and you know, I set myself up for success because when we were getting the divorce, we bought a house together. He looked at me. He was like, "Well, what about the house? What about the house? We gonna get this house,
right?"
And we still got this bill now. This mortgage gonna be paid.
Yeah, I mean, and we get along. He was one of my nearest and dearest friends before we got married.
Yeah.
And so he's still
Still
one of
your
my,
good friend.
Is he in the industry as well?
No, he's not. That's my dude. Like
That is
that's
so.
my dude.
That sounds like that needs to be a reality show right there. Or something.
Talk.
Like,
Yeah.
The real Adina Howard.
The real Adina Howard.
Like he's my dude. I love him to life. I would hire somebody to beat a bitch's ass for him. I would.
Right.
You know, I was about to say,
Because you wouldn't do it.
She said, I'm not gonna knuckle up, but I can pay somebody.
Yeah, I would pay somebody
right
to
there.
knuckle up
Marla
for
would
him.
do it.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Right.
Because I can't.
Fist of Fury.
Right.
All right,
But that is another show. But it takes maturity. It really takes maturity, and it takes, really just understanding that just because we're not together doesn't mean we have to dislike each other.
Absolutely. You're right. You're right.
There's no disrespect. It's just like it is what it is. We love each other. We like each other. It was just nothing there.
Right. You bring guys home?
Hell no.
No.
You trying to go home with Adina?
And he better
What
not
are
bring
you
no
doing?
broad to the house.
You better say it.
No,
'Cause
wait,
Wait. How does that work?
That is our.
Is that a
home.
rule?
That is a rule.
I mean, that's respectful. That's respectful.
Is
You don't
it?
break-
Yes, you crazy.
Wait, we're roommates.
Are you not
But
watching Insecure
still,
right
come-
now?
No, I'm not watching.
Hey.
But we're roommates. So
That-
But the thing is, we're roommates,
season.
but we're exes. And one of the things is that's just
You just
a line.
don't do
That's
that.
a line we don't cross. I don't bring anybody home. He doesn't bring anybody home. When we have too many guns in the house.
wow.
Hey,
She does
I
live in
they too
Arizona.
And
easily
you
accessible.
can carry in Arizona,
You
right?
can open carry in Arizona, and you don't have to register. We have three.
What?
We have an AR-15 and a couple rifles and
my
3
goodness.
handguns.
Oh, it's going down.
I'm moving to Arizona.
That's not
Wow.
a couple of guns. That's
right.
an arsenal.
Right.
Yeah,
wow.
we don't play. I keep mine. I have mine next to my bed with, I got a green laser and a nice little scope and all that. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
She's like, I'm good. Call of Duty.
All right,
I got my glow in the dark sights with my green laser. I'm like, let somebody come up.
Yeah, I
in
wish
here.
you would.
Right, somebody trying to
Boom, boom.
You
AM Caffeine Show.
Yes.
Thank you so much to Adina
Absolutely.
Howard hanging with us. So cool.
That's my new best friend.
Her album is available right now, Resurrection, on all digital platforms.
And
There's
if
a
they want to
video,
download
Blasphemy.
it for, right, if they want to download it for free, they can go to AdinaHoward.com. Or if they want a physical copy, they can go to the website and I'll make sure it's mailed out to them.
Oh, and what's the website?
AdinaHoward.com.
There it is.
AdinaHoward.com, yeah.
AdinaHoward.com. Make sure. Do you post any of your dates and on your
Yes,
social media?
Absolutely.
You do that. Okay.
Absolutely.
And-
And shout out to DJ KG. I do a mixed CD with him. And he actually just sent it to me now, so I need to post that because I've been slacking. So it's Blend Chemist, Mixcloud mixtape. So yeah, I want y'all to know about that.
All right, there it is. Adina Howard.
I'm gonna
Thank
stalk
you
you
so
all
much.
day on IG from the break of dawn.
And she gonna hit that block button when you try to do that.
Boom, boom. We can't forget that. Block, block. AM Caffeine Show. Thank you so
Yes.
much to Adina
Thank
Howard.
you.
Make sure you rock with the
Yes.
AM Caffeine Show each and every Wednesday and Friday. Go to amcaffeine.com for all station links and listings. You guys enjoy your day. We out of here.
Blessings.
Adina, we love you anytime.
love you back.
AM Caffeine Show. You guys have a good one. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Whatever happened to the times when we cared for one another? We shared the same respect. What is happening?